Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys.
All right, we're going to hit on a subject today that is...
What are you laughing for,
It's so important, he's folding his arms.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to hit a subject, a feature that is rarely used yet massively important. So a lot of our customers that have seen the remote or the scanning the registry, there's often that oh wow, or the eureka, just raising the consciousness of.
There's so many things you can do. It's
I didn't realize
amazing.
I could do this because once besides some funky binary data and besides some stuff that might be in the HKey current user hive, if it's in HKey local machine or classes root or something, and once again it's not some funky binary data, really you can. They also realize, oh, I can grab this, I can make collections, I can make reports, all sorts of stuff.
It's one of those things, once you start playing with, your mind just opens, you're like, oh, I can do this and this and this. So let's show you a few of these.
So that's what we're hoping to do. All right, so we're going to create a couple of these on the fly. Now, there's a link that's been made out there for a couple of these files that you can import into PDQ inventory, because in some of them there's a lot of typing.
Well, they're complex. Instead of watching us type and me making fun of Shane typing, we figured we'd just import those.
A little role reversal, huh?
Yeah, well, you get to be the tool this time.
All right, so there's... It's such a new feeling,
isn't it?
How do you get used to it? So we're gonna show you. There's a couple of steps that are involved. All right. So oftentimes someone will open up, they'll open up a computer and they'll look at the registry and they'll think, oh, there's not much there, or there's nothing there. Here there's a few things here because we scanned them.
You have to build a registry.
Yeah, you have to actually build a registry scanner. We don't scan the entire registry every time we scan a computer. We don't want to do that. It would take forever to fill up your database.
Collect a lot of information you just don't need.
So we're gonna hit a couple of use cases, just a couple of examples. We're gonna scan for machines that have Java auto update enabled. Now, for those of you who have computers out in the wild where some administrators have installed Java, or maybe there was if you install Java from the package library that we make, we disable auto update. But those of you who've got users that have installed it, or just older versions that still have it,
or you just started using PDQ deploy.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to catch those and take care of them.
It's a problem. So I'm going to go. I've got a little working collection here, just of some of these computers. I'm just going to remote into Costanza real quick. So this is a user. This is obviously a new version of Java comes out. This is what a user might see if, I'll just go to the control panel and show you. Under Java, if you go to the control panel, open Java, you would see an update tab. Let this open up, actually.
Eventually. Did you actually click on it?
Yeah. There it is.
Okay.
See that update tab? Let me move this down. Sorry, DJ. We want that gone.
Yeah.
All right. Now
you want to control the updates. Don't let your end users do it.
There's two ways you can do it. You can modify a registry value and change the value from 1 to 0, or you can actually just delete the key. We delete the key.
Yeah.
But what you want to do to find people that have the update set to anything besides don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's a value in the registry. Now where in the registry? Once again, I'm on this computer Costanza. I can go to the registry here.
Little Regedit.
And we'll go into, this is the 32-bit version of Java on a 64-bit machine. So under WoW 64, under HKey local machine software, WoW 6432 node in this case, JavaSoft, you'll see a Java update. You could actually delete that entire registry key.
And that will take care of it. Yeah.
But if you don't, under the policy subkey, if you see the value enable Java update and it has a non-zero value. I forgot how to do the highlight.
Right here, guys. JJ worked so hard on that, we got to use it.
How do you clear it? There we go. Thanks.
So,
boy, this is high def now.
high tech.
This is badass.
Okay,
All right.
okay. So just quick one, right? So that's a 64-bit machine. That would be a little bit different on a 32-bit machine.
Well, we'll talk about that actually.
Okay.
So here's what you can do. So we need to grab that. I'm going to minimize this. So let's go into, now first of all, you need to, as Lex mentioned, scan for it. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. You do need to go into preferences, go down to scan profiles. Remember, scan profiles are containers of different scanners. There's the standard scan profile, which is, when you first install it, this is what's known as the default scan profile. If you double click on that, you'll see all the different scanners that are included. There's no file or registry scanners in there. So you can add some files, or behind my head, registry, to standard. So basically you could add the new scanners to an existing profile, or you can create a new profile. And there's pros and cons to both. If this is something you're going to want to scan for a lot, I'd recommend adding it to something like maybe applications. Yeah, we actually make, for this example, I've made applications the default. I like to do that anyway because applications is a much faster scan profile. It only scans the computer details, hotfixes, and applications.
Yeah, usually computer details don't change, or excuse me, hardware details don't change on computers very often. So
if you wanted to add this to an existing profile, you would just simply go Add, go down to Registry, and select your registry. Choose your hive. We know this is an HQ local machine because we've already sussed that out. So the patterns that you can do. Now, if you look, we actually have this already scanned. We already have a profile here. It's a separate scan profile to show you this. And there's the registry. And we've done software. There's a little cheat sheet up here, the splat. That means it's to scan this and all subdirectories,
which is a great thing. However, you got to know, let's say there is a ton of stuff under software, which there is. It's going to scan all of that.
Yeah, it's
looking for that. It's going to take time.
It's an excellent point because you've got the wildcard so far ahead. There are tens of thousands of registry keys and values underneath software.
Now, the further down the tree you get, the closer you get to where you're looking for it, the faster it's going to be.
So why do we think we have that splat there?
Well, again, I brought up that 32-bit, 64-bit machine. It's
exactly.
Fall under the different.
Well done, sir. So let's see how fast this takes to run on a machine. I'm going to just do the Java auto update on to scan a different scan profile. You simply go to your scan button. Now, if you hit F6, it hits the default profile. Here, I'm actually just going to choose a Java auto update. And we'll see kind of how long this takes to run because, it's got that splat there at near the beginning of the path, like you mentioned. That could take a long time.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of choose your pain. So you can see right now it's already scanned the applications.
And understand this is running on the target machine. So, if you don't care about your end users, like me, you can do that, okay? If you care about getting your data back fast, which is also care about me, you might want to change that and take it further down the path.
Correct. I like that. So notice it's still scanning. It's taken a while. It's taken a long time. Why? Because it's now looking under it's traversing everything.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do while that's running, I'm going to come over here. Now it's returning the data. Well, really quick, we'll go and open it up and see what it returned. There it is. There's JavaSoft. There's the enable Java update. It does have a value of 1. So what I'm going to do is
just alter that scan, and then we're going to go put the two paths it can look in, the 32-bit path and the 64-bit path.
So yeah, there's a little extra work for you. Now this is probably the scan profile that's included if you download the files that Annie made available, Annie and Jason. So what we're going to do, going off of your suggestion, I'm going to have the software JavaSoft, which will work on 32-bit machines. I'm going to copy that.
And as you noticed, after we scanned, was that Costanza? There's that WOW 64.
Yep. So now we'll do another one. It says WOW 6432 node. So yeah, we are adding an extra filter, but it's going to run faster. Also, think about the values that you want, because you might want to put wildcards down near the end And by the way, and Brig really wanted me to call this out, Brig and Jason. If you are specifying a key here, because you can specify all the way down to a value name. If you're specifying a key, you need to end it in a backslash. Okay, otherwise, if I didn't have this backslash here, that would look for a value name called policy. No, a backslash says this is a key. So that's it. And also, if you're copying and pasting, a lot of times people will say, they'll copy and paste.
Right there,
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
You don't want to put the hive, like they might have H key LM or something like that. No, that's not part of the path. That's part of the hive. The hive is specified up here. Just a couple of call outs. Thanks, buddy.
Yep, I just put stuff in here.
That's okay. So we're going to do software, JavaSoft, and then we're adding both of them. Little duplication. Now let's see how fast this runs on Costanza. Scan Java auto update. Cheers.
So before it took, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, maybe a little longer.
I think it took longer than that, yeah.
Did it?
It's already returning the data.
Boom, done. Before I even got to sip on my drink. That's fast.
Now we're going to open it up. The same data. Well, it's still saving. Good. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, the same data is there. All right, so that worked much faster. You get to pick your pain. Do you want to take the time to do the 2 with WoW 64, 32, yada yada, or have the extra scan time on your target computer? So now I've got we've got that data here. I can open this up and say, oh, let's see, Millhouse. Yep, enable Java auto update is 1.
So you can now build things off this collections, reports, and
should we hurry and build a quick collection?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to just build a dynamic collection. We'll call this Java
Updates.
auto update enabled. And we'll just do the registry. Notice I'm selecting the table registry. And I'm just going to do path. You can do something like contains, or you can do starts with, make it a little faster, but you probably won't notice much of a difference. Like software, JavaSoft, and I think it's policy. Is that right?
yeah. Well, this is only going to grab the 32-bit machines. True.
Now we're going to do this. We're going to add another one. We're going to copy that value. What else do I need to change here?
What else do you need to change there? That'd have to be any.
Yep. So now we're saying it's going to be in either of these values need to return true, and I believe that's the right path.
Let's try it.
I might
We'll find out.
crack. You have a cheat sheet. Go back to a computer that you know has that. JavaSoft. Oh, it's Java update. Java space update policy.
Okay, yeah. Can you use splats there too?
You can use the matches pattern, but in this case, it's not going to work as you expect.
Yeah.
So no, you are going to want to do good call. So it's JavaSoft
Java space
update, and then it's not that update at the end. I don't think we'll just do policy. Lose that. Let's see what happens when I try to wing it.
So this is how you troubleshoot too. It's a
Java update. There you go. Now but we want to go even further than that. Yeah, it's not enough that they just have the update, because they might have that value set to 0.
0, yeah.
So what's the name of the value again? You're going to go back over here. You have a cheat sheet once again. The value is called enable Java update. All right. So we're going to come back into our collection. We're going to highlight this top one. Going to create this top level, or a new group. I'm sorry, a new group filter, and then a new data filter or value filter under that. And we'll go down to registry, value name, contain or equals.
The reason you're doing that is
What was it called again?
First fitting.
Java update enable.
Yes, Java update enabled.
suck.
I think.
Is enable Java update.
Enable Java update. Back to that. Okay, that first filter will grab machines that have that, and then that second filter will pull the ones that have got. There's no space, my friend.
There we go.
Java.
So any of those, and then all of these, registry value name version equals Java update, and then the value, the actual value. We can do, you can actually use the version here and say version is higher than 0. Because if it's 0, it's still going to work.
We're hitting on all cylinders today, everybody.
All right, so here's what you can do. I'm going to just move this down here. I'm going to create a new one. Move this one down here. And then I'm going to take these two, copy it. I'm going to paste it here. Oops, pardon me. I want those. There we go. We'll move that one so that we're not totally duplicating. And the version higher than value version higher than 0.
Now you're losing me,
Is
man.
case sensitive important here?
No, it's not case sensitive. JJ just has if it's case sensitive. And then version equals registry value name, and then we're going to do this. Registry value.
But you know what we just did?
What?
2 32-bit machines.
I thought I, oh, okay, you're right. Hold on. Version higher than 0.
So basically we're proving this is a live webcast. Edit this, JJ. Edit it.
Oh, it looks like I actually, path.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what I'm saying. Yeah, I did that. No, it is not case sensitive, JJ. You're, thanks for calling that out. But yeah, you do want to
Still strange, you know.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
I like to match the case as much as possible so that so it's easier to
I
read.
think Note has an E on it. There you go.
Okay.
You've been slapped with my typing
goodness.
technique lately.
Right?
So how does it feel to be a tool?
This sucks.
It sucks.
All right, so now I'm going to go back over here to Costanza really quick. Now, if I change this registry value to 0,
And then we rescan it.
and then you have to rescan it, and that's the important thing. If you have a separate scanner, a separate scan profile, you need to rescan those machines after you make a change. Well, you do anyway, but I'm saying if you have your applications run on a schedule or something like that, this would automatically be taken care of, sooner rather than later. So we're going to scan this. Costanza should leave
Disappear, yep.
this collection. Okay.
While that's running, why don't I throw the question up?
Yep. And then of course you could also delete the update, just the Java update folder or the key in the registry, and that does the same thing. And you go back over here.
We don't want to do the question?
Yeah, we'll do the question. Come back over really quick. Come back over here to Control Panel, Programs, Java. Guess what? You're not going to see the update there.
Yep.
Okay, what's the question?
All right. This is from Monica K. Can I use registry scanning to compile lists of non-administrator users in computer profile lists instead of finding them manually in Regedit?
Hi, Monica. All right, so the answer is yes, but that's actually a native feature within Deploy, within Inventory. Yeah, where you can we have you're saying you want to find all users that aren't that are non-administrators in basically.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean I'm not going to go into building the actual collection. I'm going to just minimize this, but you notice in all these computers you have local groups and local users, so you can actually have. And there's knowledge base articles on this, I believe. But Monica, if not, reach out to support and we'll show you this. You can build a collection and or a report that says, show me all computers that have non-administrator or basically show me any computer that has an account in the administrators group that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So you can say it should allow domain admins, it should allow this or that, but nothing else. So that's actually a native feature. I wouldn't actually use the registry scanner for that.
It's already built in, it's fast.
Yeah, good question. I would look at that. The table that you would use would most likely be something like local group member is probably what you'd use to help find that. All right. Anyway, so notice how that left. Now, if I delete the update key just totally from these and then rescan them, they'll also leave. All right. So this is a great example of how you can use the registry scanner to grab that. Now, let's take a peek at another one. Google Chrome. Here's Google Chrome. I'm going to go to the collection library, and I'm going to open up Internet browsers under Applications, Chrome Enterprise. These are all the computers that have Chrome. But the problem is, a computer, according to the add and remove programs, which is where we go, the uninstall key to determine applications, you cannot differentiate whether the Chrome is a 32-bit version of Chrome or a 64-bit version. With something like Firefox, you can, because the Firefox name will actually say 64-bit, right? Or x64. Here, I don't know whether these are 32-bit or 64-bit. And it's not something that we can put in the collection library because it requires a registry scanner, a custom scanner that we don't automatically have out there. So here's what you can do to break down which computers have the 32 or 64-bit version of Chrome. And we actually have this collection built because this one would take some time. Got a Google Chrome. I'm going to open this up. First thing, does the application name equal Google Chrome? Yes, that's simple enough. Now I'm going to expand it. The Google Chrome, let's open up the 64-bit version. If there's a computer that has Google Chrome as an application, and in this registry, the software WoW 6432 node, which remember, you're only going to have 64-bit on a 64-bit computer, so it's going to have that WoW 6432 node key. If you see this in this path with a value name called AP, and the value begins with x64, that is a 64-bit version of Chrome. It's a 32-bit version, few extra filters, if that same value begins with dash multi-Chrome. And notice we've got the reason why we have two subgroups here is because one looks for 32-bit Chrome on 64-bit and 32-bit Chrome just on a 32-bit, which obviously... So look in that registry key, and let's go out to a machine like Abraham. I've got a little custom tool for inventory to open up that registry. So it's under software policies, I believe. Is that what it was? Software, Google Update client state. That's what it was. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send it to the registry. So this is yeah. So it's in software Google Update. Okay, so it's not in policies. It's in software WoW 6432 node. Google Update. Make this a little wider. Client state. Notice we have to traverse a couple of different keys here, and it's going to probably show up twice. We're looking for the AP value.
Oh, there's one right there. Multi-Chrome.
AP-multi-Chrome. So we know this is a 32-bit. How do we know? We had to suss this out. It's kind of what you're going to have to do. But we know that Abraham's a 64-bit machine that has a 32-bit Chrome. So we created a registry scanner. Now, if you guys use Chrome in your environment, you're probably going to want to take these scanners and place them in the applications or standard scan profile. But here we've got a Google Chrome architecture, and we've got, on this one, I want to show you, this one we're still using a wildcard, but it's further down. Can you zoom in a little bit more, JJ? It's a little further down the path so that it's not going to take as long. So we're saying an HT local machine, we have two patterns. Look for software Google or software WoW 64, all the way on down. And then, because remember that AP was in any one of those subkeys, and that could be named anything, that's where we're doing the splat, which means current and all subkeys. And then we're actually looking for the AP value. Now, if I don't do that, if I just were to say, well, really quick, I'm going to open up.
Take a look at what everything is returned.
Yeah.
So, and again, the thing is, the further that the wildcard gets down, the less data you're going to actually collect, and the faster this is going to run.
I want to show you what happens if you don't use the value, because sometimes you may not want to use the value. But if you don't use the value in the filter, you're going to grab everything under that key. So we're going to say, let's go back to this. and I'm going to lose the /AP. So remember, since AP doesn't end in a backslash, that means it's a value name.
So now we're going to pull all the...
So now I'm going to scan Abraham with the Chrome architecture scan profile.
Wow, this is exciting.
Now watch how many. Now watch how many.
It's just going to start filling up with.
Yeah,
all
it's
the
going to
keys
fill
that
up
are
with
there, yeah.
all the values and keys that are underneath the client state. So your collections will still work, but you've now got a lot of extra data. We've got 58 rows here versus before it only returned
6.
2. Well, yeah, 2 for this particular one. So you have to figure out what you want.
Yeah.
You may want all of this, but if you don't, put some intelligence into your scan profile. In this case, just say, well, I'm actually just looking for the AP value name.
And just be sure you know what you're looking for, because again, you can fill up your database with a lot of unusable data from your registries. So
once again, I'm going to rescan with this. Now, I want to show you this. So let's say that you build a scan profile like this. Here's how. By the way, here's how you can delete that data. So this all comes about from the Google architecture one, and it's returning that data. So now most of these rows are going to be deleted. Perfect. Now watch what happens here when I come over. I'm going to do a copy real quick. I'm going to copy this. Just Control C. I'm going to delete that scan profile. Same thing would happen if you deleted the filter. Open up Abraham. Notice those values are gone.
Yeah.
When you delete the scan profile from that filter was there, it's going to delete that.
any data associated with that.
Unless a similar filter was in another scan profile that had been scanned, because if it's the last scan profile that grabbed that, it's going to delete it. So what I want to do is, because I use Chrome in my environment, and you might do this too, I'm going to go to a scan profile that I use quite often, and I'm just going to paste that value in there. So now anytime applications is scanned, which is my default, so I can just hit F6. Anytime that is scanned, it's going to run, the hotfixes, the computer details, applications, and then these registries.
The new registry scan that's in there.
Does it take a few extra seconds? Yes. But now I don't have to remember to go out there and scan this every time Chrome gets updated, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure that we're still on the same page. There we go. So if through the AP back there, you see those new rows that showed up, there you go. We'll make these available for you. So once again, if this is a kind of a one-hit wonder, that we've got people that say, I just need to grab this, grab this information, and it's just once because I want to know what this value is. Mm-hmm. You don't need to put it in applications or standard. Create a new scan profile and scan it, and then you're done. But if this is something that's ongoing, consider adding some intelligence.
Yeah.
Do we have another question?
From Matt H. If there are multiple users logged on, a terminal server, for example, how can I scan the individual users' registries?
Okay, so that's a good question. Thanks, Matt. A real gotcha. I'm going to go back to the scan profiles. We'll go to Java Auto Update. I'm going to add a new registry scanner. You'll notice the hives that you can add. You can add classes root, local machine, and HKey users. If you want to get down, once again, this is not, notice there wasn't the current user. Why? The current user is actually populated when a user logs on. Mm-hmm. That DAT file, that user's DAT file, is then loaded into a shortcut which is known as HKey current user, HKCU.
Yep.
You open up the registry here. So obviously I have my HKey current user, which is just logged on as Quintana, mm-hmm. right? Now you do have HKey users, which will have
some information.
A lot of the data that is available. You would need to use the HKey users. There's also, you could also use, I believe it's a profile list under HKey local machine, I believe, to grab some data, but Matt, there's some data that you're not going to be able to grab.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of spotty, man.
But there is some that you can.
Yeah.
It's just in this case, you're going to need to use the wildcard, the splat, early on under HK users, because all of these are going to be users based off of a SID that you don't know what that is going to be. So you're just going to have to say HK users whack splat whack, and then a value that would be under here, under one of these, that you could look for.
This one's going to grind, man. It's going to take time.
It could take some time, depending on how, especially on a terminal server, and if you have a lot of users on that terminal server, it could take some time. So think about the data that you want to grab. Go look under HK users, see if it's there. If it is, then you've kind of got your path, maybe your value names, create your scan profiles and your collections reports accordingly. And if there's time, I can hurry and show them an example that came on the support forums. JJ, what were you looking at?
Yeah, we're over time, but let's do it anyway.
All right.
All right.
So there was a person that asked a while ago, this is a long time ago, I want to know which computers have a DHCP address and versus a static IP address. Well, that's in the registry. So told them create a registry scanner, and it's going to be it's under HK local machine, but not software. It's under system, current control set services, TCP/IP, parameters, and you're looking for. Notice we've got a couple of wildcards here. We got the splat, which means traverse all subdirectories, and then splat IP address, because there's two values you're looking for. You're looking for DHCP IP address or just IP address. So by doing that, I run this scanner against all these computers. Go to collection, scan collection, go to DHCP static. I believe I've already scanned it with these. And then we've made this available in the link that Annie provided. This required a report, but it was a SQL report. You couldn't do this
In basic reports.
in a basic report, yeah. But under reports, I added a new folder called Miscellaneous Registry. Edit this. Once again, if you want this, it's out there for you. I'm going to go to Define Report. Notice it's just some SQL. And the reason why we can't do this, it requires a union.
Union.
Yeah, you can see that. Where we're saying, look at the computer name and the IP address that the computer name has, and then look in this registry, the registry path for IP address or for DHCP address. So when you run this, you'll see these are the machines that have static. These are the machines that have DHCP. All right.
Boom. There you go.
Just like that. So
it's a great one. If you're not, if you don't need to use it, at least look at it, see, SQL Shane wrote, and check the registry value.
yeah. So just think about it, you guys. We had a user. We actually had a user that Briggs said, I've got some values in the registry for an application from Pfizer that stores a location like St. Louis or Chicago. I need to be able to do that. Brig wrote a basic report, a scan profile and a basic report, and said, use this. Guess it works
great,
like a champ, yeah. So you got data in the registry. If you need to harness it, you have that ability here. And thanks for watching, you guys.
I appreciate it. See y'all.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And our winners today, Monica K and Matt H. If you guys will send me an email, we'll get you some swag. That's Monica K and Matt H. Congratulations. We'll see you guys next Thursday.